Have you ever sat down and looked at your email marketing account and thought there has to be a better way to get these emails to actually convert? Most e-com brands right now are either sending too little email campaigns, leaving a ton of revenue on the table, or they're sending just too much BS to their list and burning out their list. And even worse, they're guessing on what to send, copying what everyone else is doing, and sending aimless emails with no actual strategy behind them. And then they wonder why their click rates drop and their revenue plateaus. This new playbook is the answer. This is the exact system that we've used to generate over $100 million in e-commerce sales in just the past 18 months. Nobody else is teaching email strategy like this, so let's just get right into it. So why is this video important? Ad costs are rising, and to be honest with you, they're not going down. We're having to pay even more every single day to get site traffic and acquire customers, which makes retaining our margins in our back end the #1 most important focus for surviving in this market and actually scaling. Now, many brands are just throwing around monthly discounts to try to get conversions, which is just going to kill themselves in the long run. The brands who are utilizing modern strategies, like the ones I'm showing you in this video, to maintain high profits will be here for over 5 years, while the brands just throwing their profits away with discounts and improper email marketing are just going to fizzle out in 1 to 2 years. So if we want to build a strong strategy that gets people to convert, we have to understand the state of the market in 2025 and 2026. We can't build a strategy if we don't know what's going on. So the first thing to know is that competition is crazy. It's fierce right now. There's 1,000 new brands launching every single week, and customers are overwhelmed with all the options, and loyalty is lower than ever. If you get somebody to buy from you once, that doesn't mean they're going to keep buying from you, because there are new brands popping up every single day, and people like new. They like to shop around. And that brings us to #2, which is shoppers love to browse. The experience of discovering brands is half of the fun. It's always like a game. It's like, I found this new awesome brand, and it's kind of just fun for people. So social feeds are literally the new shopping mall. People are going to malls lower than ever, and customers are bouncing between 5 to 10 brands before they decide who to buy from. #3, trust is the new currency, because years of online scams and poor experiences and all the different drop shippers out there who may not be delivering a good experience for their customers has made the customer skeptical. They want to know who you are, not just what you sell. And #4, you need to earn the sale. Buying used to be impulsive, kind of in the COVID era, but now it really takes multiple touch points across channels to build enough trust to get people to convert. And so this is kind of like the skeptical sort of like customer right here of, who is this brand? I've been scammed online buying before. Why not go with one of the other 50 brands in the industry? What are people saying about this brand? This is the stuff that the customer is thinking about. And then also for them, they love shopping around. OMG, yay, so many cool brands and products to choose from. They have the world at their fingertips, and it's fun. So that's kind of where we're at with the market right now. So now let's talk about email marketing in 2025. Now, email marketing is the #1 option for sending content, building trust, and staying top of mind with customers for a few different reasons. #1, email marketing is cheap. It is the cheapest marketing channel that you're going to find out there, which makes getting an ROI from it even easier for you. #2, you own it completely. It is your audience, your list. You don't have to worry about any outside factors or people. #3, it's predictable and scalable. You know that if you have X amount of people on your email list and they're a warm audience, you can get them to convert at a percentage of your total sales. Like, for example, most of our clients at around 40% of their total store revenue coming from email every single month. So that if their ads get shut down or their ad account gets banned, they know that with email, they have a steady baseline of revenue coming in. And then as the brand scales, the list and total revenue will scale. #4, it increases your customer goodwill. If you're sending the right content, you're not just spamming across ads and then also the email list with discounts, you're building trust and sending good content, then you will build goodwill. #5, nobody can take it away. Zuck cannot shut down your email list. So you are kind of playing, and with Zuck and ads, you're at the mercy of him. He can kind of charge whatever, and you're kind of forced to just pay it. Not with email, it's yours. So to put it simply, email is the cheapest way to get traffic from people who already know, like, and trust you. Sounds great to me. So now we need to get to actually how do we execute on email marketing? And it all starts with ideating and building high converting email marketing calendars. So this brings up the first question of how many email campaigns should you send? Now, every brand is different, and of course it depends, but 3 times per week is typically the sweet spot for retaining your list while also getting good consistent revenue. I wouldn't recommend going any lower than 2 times per week, no matter your e-com store size. Some brands who are smaller, they're concerned about not sending enough. Some brands who are smaller, they're concerned about sending too much, but it doesn't matter your list size. We need to keep them engaged, and 2 times per week is that good sweet spot. See, sending 1 to 2 times per week, the customer just kind of forgets about you, and the customers are just unable to form a habit of opening your emails. It's not consistent. You're not staying top of mind. And so you're kind of just leaving money on the table. Where sending 5 to 7 times per week, you can get higher unsubscribes. Customers can get a bit annoyed, and it dilutes the power of your messaging. Every email holds a little bit less weight. And then at a certain point, the revenue is going to plateau. Whereas we found that sending 2 to 4 times per week is higher revenue, lower unsubscribes. You're able to stay top of mind with customer, and every every email has the same equal weight and impact. And this is kind of just like once per week, everybody's going to forget that you exist. Whereas like sending 4 times per week, the customer gets to know your brand. And even if they don't open the emails, the recognition of seeing your brand is going to get you sales. So as far as like a sending rule of thumb to kind of like give you something to gauge off of, I put this together, and this is going to go off of store revenue or monthly site visitors. We like to use monthly site visitors as a metric too, because this will impact list growth and new subscribers coming in. We can send more emails if we have high site traffic because we can risk more unsubscribes because we always have a lot of new people coming in consistently to the list through our pop-up form, from which hopefully you're optimizing, because the pop-up form is the most important part of your ecom funnel. So if you're kind of at the 0 to 50K a month store revenue or monthly site visitors around 0 to 25K a month, I would recommend 2 times per week. If you're kind of in the 50K to 250K a month and you're getting 25K to 50K monthly site visitors, and that can go kind of like maybe to 100K a month, I would recommend more at the 3x per week. If you're at 250K to 1 mil a month and 50K to 250K monthly site visitors, 4x per week is a good sweet spot. Then if you're over 1 mil a month, 250K plus monthly site visitors, then we want to go with kind of like 5 to 6 per week to then 7 per week sending every single day. The more you send, the more unsubscribes you will get. But as long as you're just replenishing this with new leads coming into the email list, then you're good to send at this frequency. So you know how many emails that you're sending, but what exactly should you send? We have a few different content pillars that we want to send emails for. We have educational emails, which is going to be like frequently asked questions or ingredient education. We have social proof emails like customer testimonials, media features, anything like that that proves how reliable your brand is. We have community or branded content like a brand story, founder messages. We have product or collection highlights, so just highlighting specific products, trending, gift guides, or single product feature. And then of course we have sales, such as your limited discounts. Now we find a good cadence for sending is to have an even amount of these 5 different content pillars. For example, if you send 10 emails per month, which is going to be roughly 2-ish per week, you could have 2 educational emails, 2 social proof emails, 2 product specific promotions, 2 community or branded content emails, and then 1 sale that is taking up 2 emails. And that is a good way to look at everything here. And I'm going to give you a ton of different campaign ideas that you can use. But one thing I want to make sure that we're doing is mixing our graphic and our text-based emails. This is the new stuff that works in 2025 and 2026. We want to balance these two. We have our graphic-based emails, which are needed for our branding and showing off our products. We need to appeal to our customers visually. And these are also great for list engagement because we can't just send the same stuff or the same type of visuals to the list over and over again. They're going to get bored. They're not getting dopamine from this, and they're just going to unsubscribe. But we also need to do the text-based emails, which are the secret sauce. These are literally plain text emails that look like they're coming from a friend in your inbox. And these convert so well because they add a personal touch because you want to make it come from a person. They're super duper simple, and they're just really easy for the customer to click and go to your website. So we want mostly graphic-based emails to keep the list engaged visually, but then strategically mix in our text-based emails for a couple of cents to a month to give that personal feel that customers will convert at a high rate from. So we can look at like this graphic-based email here, kind of what you'd expect for a graphic-based email. This is a great graphic-based email. We're going to break down how to do the design here. And then we have this text-based email right here, which comes from an actual person from the team, looks like it's coming from a friend. What does it taste like? And it just is super quick, overcomes a common objection, and then it goes to, if you're ready to claim yours, use this discount code, much love. Super personal, and that's how you can build a fan base of people who actually like you. We want to make sure that we're mixing these in, and you can have text-based emails be any of these content pillars. Just mix it up and don't be too predictable because the customer does not want predictability. They want to be surprised and they want new. Okay, so how can we build a strong monthly calendar? These are 4 resources that you can use to come up with ideas that are banger ideas. One is we can use Mild right here, which is just a database of pretty much every single brand out there that's big, and you can look at their exact email calendars that they're using. So you can literally see all the brands that I'm following right here if you want to follow some of them. So like if I sell accessories or clothing, I might go to like this brand Casely, and I can actually look at all the emails that they're sending, including their frequency. Like this is an awesome email right here, your passport to summer. This is super creative. It's like a passport and it's fun. It's talking about the products, and then it links to these different products that go with summer that you might want to use. Love that. This is brilliant. And the odds that a customer is on your email list and then also this brand's email list are incredibly low. So you can literally steal ideas and you could use this passport idea if you wanted to. But essentially you can just follow brands right here and then it'll show up just in your main Mild section right here. And this is my #1 way for getting email ideas. And then also I've attached a swipe file here of 84 high converting emails backed by me, $100 million email marketer. You can use this to get some ideas on different angles that I like. These are all non-discount emails. And then you could use the 100 email ideas listed below in the next slide. Then also you can use AI to strategically build out your calendar, which I'm going to be showing you. So here are 100 high converting email ideas fixed into the 5 different content pillars that I showed you. There's a little bit of information with each one. So we have our educational emails right here. We have our social social proof emails, we have our community and branded based emails, product or collection highlights, and then also the sales and different sales that you could be running. So use this. The stock's going to be in the description so that you can have this for yourself and use these ideas. And then also you can use AI for calendar creation. I have another resource for you. It's the Email Marketing Brain. It's a custom GPT that I've trained with over 500 pages of email marketing knowledge, which can be used to make calendars, come up with email ideas, and answer questions you may have. It's free. The link is right here, wellcopy.net/GPT. And here's like how the process looks. On the homepage, you click the main menu. The main menu is going to ask, what are you looking for? You want to click D, which is create me an email marketing campaign calendar. It's going to ask you for some information on the brand, and then boom, you can see the results and then some examples of what your calendar could look like. The one supplement you're underusing, your gains checklist for August, National Family Day, behind the scenes, your muscles don't grow in the gym. So you can see how it's mixing in all these different pillars, which I mentioned. It's because I trained this. So I highly recommend using that. And so here's like what an example calendar for Nike may look like. And I'm just using just like 4 emails per week. But you can see you have a campaign, March favorites, science behind tech fleece. So mixing in a little bit of educational content. And then we have a sale right here, free hat with orders above $150. Campaign, education tips for warming up, not really selling them. And then we have a restock, so product highlight. We have a blog for education, best-selling product feature, and then a sale for St. Patrick's Day. And then some social proof, campaign, celebrity feature, and then a scientific study, some more education, then a product feature right here, and then a new release because I assume they'll be releasing items. So that's an example calendar. Use this yourself and use the resources that I gave you. So now let's get into segmentation, which is essentially who are you sending these emails to? So segments are very similar to lists, but they're different in one key way. Lists inside of the platforms that you're using, mainly Klaviyo, are completely stagnant. It's just a flat list of people, whereas segments are dynamic. They can change at any second based on requirements that you set. It is just a segment of your full list, a subset of people who meet a certain characteristics that you provide. For example, that would be something like anybody who has bought 2 times in their life. There might be 4,000 people in that segment. That's what a segment is. And so why do we want to segment our campaigns? Why not blast to our whole entire list? Well, segmentation allows you to pinpoint certain members of your list so that you can gather data and create targeted emails to send based on where they are at in their customer journey. Now, the benefits of proper segmentation are going to be improved deliverability, increase your inbox placement rate, and go less to the spam folder if you can use proper segmentation and only send to people who are interested in you. You can get more sales if you're more targeted and more intentional. You can save time with a lot of the automation and figuring things out. You can have a personalized customer experience if you have segmented specific emails. So these are like some basic segmentation use cases and the main ones that we want to follow. The most important and what 95% of your segmentation is going to be is engaged list for improved deliverability. We want to segment our list for campaigns to only include people who have recently opened or clicked emails. So we ensure that we're only sending emails to people who want to open our emails. If we send to people who aren't opening our emails, Gmail will notice and send a spam. If not a lot of people are opening our emails, Gmail thinks, oh, these people don't want to receive this brand's emails. They're sending spam content. So we're going to send them to spam. Whereas if you send emails with proper segmentation only to people who are interested in receiving your emails, you're going to get high open rates. A lot of people will be opening your email, and then Gmail will look at that and be like, oh, this is a cool brand that people want to listen to. And so they can go to the main inbox. So we want to make sure that we're using good segments there. Then number 2, interested customers for more sales. So we can target people who have been active on our site or even added items to cart, but haven't made a purchase and send them extra content to try to get them to cross the line. We can also have targeted campaigns based on product interests. So we can create segments based on people who have viewed a specific product or category and send them content. And then also we can pinpoint unengaged profiles so that we can suppress these people who haven't been engaging and we're already going to naturally churn. Since they aren't opening our emails, we want to remove them from our list so that we are not harming our deliverability. And then we can suppress them and save money on our email marketing bill because we're getting charged by our number of profiles. Now, the possibilities of segmentation are literally endless, but we don't want to get too complicated here. Yes, we could hyper segment our list by each of their favorite colors and if their belly button is an innie or an outie. And yes, that would probably increase your conversion rate if you're able to send targeted emails to each one of these people. But at what cost? Would you rather send 1 to 2 hyper targeted campaigns to a week? Would you rather send 1 to 2 hyper targeted campaigns per week to different small email groups of like 10,000 people? Or just send 3 to 4 broader email campaigns that are each getting sent to 50,000 people? The latter will perform 99 times out of 100. Yes, you can do this segmentation and have some targeted stuff, but typically your lists are just going to be super small for your targeted stuff and you're not going to make as much money as if you just go broad and try to send to as many people as you can. So don't get too carried away from the basics. I recommend just focus on broader segmentation based on engagement. So these are some key segments and use cases that you want to use. These are really the only segments that you should be worrying about. And if you're concerned about any other segments, you shouldn't be unless you're doing over 1 mil a month or have a very specific use case. So this is going to be the list that you send 95% of your sends with. This is literally all you need. You can use any time frame. 90 days is typically recommended recommended to start. It's your base segment. Only send our emails to our active subscribers, because if we send to unengaged people, we're gonna hurt our engagement rates. So there's gonna be people who can receive email marketing because they haven't unsubscribed, someone who has opened email in the past 90 days, or someone who has been active on our website, or they've placed an order in the last 90 days. This is literally all that you need to send to. And then for sales, you can send to the whole list. Next, this is just like cool information to have, but we can have like high potential purchasers. So somebody who hasn't placed an order in the past 30 days, but they've been active on site. What you could do is you could send 1 to 2 extra emails per month for them to try to get them to cross the line. We have win back potential customers. So there's going to be anybody who, it depends on your store and how often people are typically coming back, but you could set a time frame of anybody within 90 to 150 days was the last time that they placed an order. And we can send extra emails for them, or we can set up a flow, automated emails, where anytime somebody enters this segment, we get them into a couple of emails of like, hey, we miss you, or you are interested in this product, why don't you get this product, anything like that. Of course, we have our VIP customers, which you can set the different parameters that you want, but that could be anybody who has placed an order 4 times or more overall time. And you could have this trigger an email flow, or you can send like 1 extra VIP email every quarter with like a special offer for them. And then this is an interesting one that you can send targeted campaigns to, which is going to be interested in X product or category. Somebody has viewed an item where the category is this, or they've added that category to cart, or they've started checkout with it, or they've placed an order with that item or category. And then you can have a list of people who are interested in that specific thing on your website. And then we have our suppress list. So this is going to be our list where every single month we want to suppress these people because they're clogging up our account and they're driving up our bill. So essentially, this is going to be anybody who can receive emails because they've subscribed, they've received at least 5 emails overall time, and they've opened emails 0 times in the last 365 days, or they've bounced email at least 3 times, or they've marked an email as spam. We don't want to send any emails to these people, and we should be suppressing these people every month on Klaviyo. Just an overall segmentation tip, just send email campaigns to your 90-day engaged list. We achieved these results of all of this by sending to the engaged list pretty much exclusively. You can see the placed order right here of just sending to these 90-day engaged lists, and every once in a while opening things up. Don't go too crazy, just use your engaged lists. So now let's talk about our copy and design and what's working in 2025 and 2026. So we need to understand the 2025 and 2026 customer is absolutely scared of reading. With TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat offering instant dopamine, you can't blame them. The average time you have with the customer's attention span has shrunk drastically in the last few years. Before, you could have an average of maybe like 5 to 10 seconds of attention per email, but now you maybe have 3 seconds of someone's attention. Your ability to get somebody to convert off your emails is completely dependent on how fast and efficiently you can get your point across. That's what we need to understand. Now, copy and design go together. They are intertwined. As you are writing copy, you must be thinking of the layout of your email and the design and how these flow and work together. Reading and then visually appealing to our customers are one in one. They go hand in hand. If your copy is written out in massive blocks and paragraphs and you're not thinking about how it's going to look designed, then your design is going to be limited because it's just going to be blocks of copy. Like, for example, at my agency, Wellcopy, we tackle both copy and design at once using these following principles. The 3 different pillars that we need to focus on for our email copy that you should be judging your copy with is SCE. Skimmable is going to be this first one, which is literally just means no blocks of copy. We need to break up our copy. We need to add line breaks. We need to use bolding and headlines because our modern customer has a TikTok brain. If they can't just skim our email in 3 seconds, it's not going to get read. So here's like an example of what skimmable looks like. The use of clear sections, quick copy, and bolded points. This email can be skimmed in under 3 seconds. Okay, we'll spill the milk, packed with protein, 0 sugar, 100% gluten-free. Oh, I just went gluten-free. Let me read this back again and get some more information. That could be the thought process of a customer. Bolded headlines right here with the main points and copy that's short and sweet. That's what we want for it to be skimmable. The second pillar is clear and concise. We want to focus on one core takeaway per email when we can. Our customers are in zombie mode in our inbox. We want to make our message obvious and easy to absorb so that their zombie brain can understand it. This is a great example of an email focused on one specific thing, not 5 different things, which allows the customer to easily comprehend. It's all about enhancing the benefits of caffeine. Hey, did you know that our product, with research, enhances the speed and accuracy of cognitive tasks? Boom. Look at how simple this is and how easy it is for the customer to understand this. Instead of spamming with 10 different takeaways about the product, I can leave this understanding that, okay, this product is going to make my caffeine perform better, which is super simple. And then lastly, we have engaging. Boring emails just don't always convert. And in the long run, we need to have engaging emails because if we have boring emails, customers are going to unsubscribe. So we want to use education, we want to have humor, we want to have punchy phrasing, emotional triggers, or helpful info as well. Emails should be giving the customer a hint of dopamine. This email does an amazing job of being fun, but also educational, giving stuff that the customer can learn from and giving them facts that they can use in conversation at like a coffee shop with a friend. And this will directly increase our engagement. That says, don't just buy shit, invest in yours. And then it breaks down, you will spend 92 days or 2,200 hours of your life on the toilet. Want to make that time feel smoother. here. I love this. It's fun, it's edgy, and it taught me something, which I love. And it makes you to really like value, your toilet time. So those are the 3 principles for email copy that we want to follow. And one point I really want to hit home, which is make or break for email design and conversions, is we need to be using infographics, because people do not want to read blocks of copy. Your copy just won't be read if you're using blocks of copy in 2025 and 2026. Instead, we need to be implementing tons of infographics to help increase our engagement. So here are a ton of examples of infographics. We have things like checklists right here, which are literally just separating the benefits of your product into just checklists. We have icon graphics, so separate your benefits with little icons to help like visually appeal to people and have them be able to skim through and kind of like understand. Then we have things like feature diagrams, where we're calling out the different features or parts of our product right here. We have timelines, so showing timelines of like using your product or what you might experience. We have numbered lists, very similar to checklists, but listing out numbers right here, which is super easy to just skim and understand. We have comparison charts, just showing like us versus them, or this product versus this product. Super easy for the customer to understand. We have tables, so stuff like this, where we can show different tables and stuff like this. This is one of my favorite. I absolutely love this graphic. We have flow charts, which are a little bit more fun, but you can see this right here. It's engaging for the customer. We love doing that. And of course, whenever we can use graphs, or if you have statistics, that's a sort of infographic that we love using. Avoid all blocks of copy and make use of these infographics as much as you can. Now, we can use AI to help us write copy as well in the email marketing brain, which I showed you before. This is how our copy process works, but essentially we can use this ChatGPT, which I've trained on how to write effective copy, and it's going to ask you similar sort of questions, and then the output, you can see here what this looks like that we could give to designers. You can see this is like what a Feastables email for Mr. Beast may look like, and what it's going to do, this GPT is going to give you 3 different variations. So you can see the headline, no junk, just chocolate. You won't find fillers, fake flavors, or weird chemicals here. Awesome. Body copy, you care about what goes into your body, and so do we. Our chocolate is made with organic cacao and minimal ingredients, no corn syrup. Amazing educational copy right here. Nice and simple. This is short and concise. And then visual right here, you can see the bridge, the different visuals. You can do a clean side-by-side infographic comparing Feastables versus traditional candy, highlighting the no corn syrup, low sugar, organic cacao, artificial junk, or loaded with fillers. And then a product section just with a quick checklist of the product information. And then there are a couple different variations that you can use and pick what sections you like. So that's how we save time with writing copy, is making sure we have a well-trained AI that knows how to create high converting copy. And then we like to write and map this out for our designers. Now, we notice a lot of disconnect between copy and designers when we just kind of write copy in table format like this. Instead, our copywriters act as email architects and are mapping out exactly how the email should look like to avoid any confusion. This gives copy more control over the finished product, as well as giving the designer direction so that they can avoid a little bit of designer's block. Our final product became noticeably better when we started doing stuff like this. You can see you can put in images to give the designer direction. You can literally see how the email looks with like all of the dimensions and everything when you lay things out like this. So I highly recommend that you write the copy like this to give your designer some direction. So that's like on the copy side and the main things that we want to focus on the copy side. Now let's talk about email design that drives clicks. Now, pretty doesn't always equal profit, because the goal of every single email is to get the click. You can have a super pretty email, but it might not get any clicks because you're not following these conversion rate optimization tips, which I'm sharing with you. Here's the checklist on how to design emails that hand the customer a click on a silver platter. Number 1, we want a button above the fold, which means a button that is viewable right when the customer opens the email without needing to scroll. Most users are not going to scroll, so put a CTA button in the hero section so every reader can see it immediately. You can see a button right here at the top. This is the biggest issue that I see with most brands, is they have a button, their first button is way down here. No, it needs to be visible right off the bat. That right there will immediately improve your clicks. And then number 2, on the button side as well, is large thumb-friendly buttons. We need to think mobile first. Buttons should be at least on a screen 1.5 to 2 inches wide so they're easy to tap. Look at how big these buttons are. Look at how massive this one is. Even a blind person could click this button. That's what we want. Every single test that I've done, the bigger the button, the higher the conversions. And then we want to have clear repeating CTAs. We don't just want to place one button at the end. We can repeat CTAs 2 to 3 times through the email. So you can see CTA right here, then here, then here. This is perfect. And then also we have a button up here, and then we have this one right here, and then we finish right here. The more buttons we can put in the email to catch the customer at wherever their decision might be, the higher chance we have of getting a click. And then we want to center our buttons in most cases, especially in our hero sections. More often, we want to make sure that we have buttons centered or at least touching the center. Typically, I don't like to do buttons all the time off to the side, but it can be okay here and there. But definitely in our hero section and any of our general CTAs, we want it to be centered, which you can see right here, which is a great example. Make them centered. It's easier for the customer to click so they don't have to stretch their thumb. 5, we need to make sure we have a button for every single product that we're showing in our email. Each one should have a shop now button, because if you just show images of product with no buttons, the customer doesn't know that they can click that image to then go shop that item. We need to tell them specifically, hey, here's the product. You can click this and buy it right now. That's what we want. You can see here, each product, individual buttons, and right here, each category, the individual buttons. That's what we want to get people to click on the product they want. And then number 6, end with a general CTA. If we're showing different products, we need to end with a general CTA of shop all or browse more or something like that. Because for example, if a customer views this email, they go through these products and they're like, oh, I don't really love any of these products, but maybe they're in a buying mood and they're open to browsing. So we always want to finish with shop all, because if they got to the bottom here and they didn't find a product that they like, it's going to be much more effort for them to click this, go to that page, and then go to like general all products on the site. We need to make it super easy to just shop all and take them to a general landing page. And you can see that with all of these right here. And then make CTAs stand out. So make sure you use high contrast colors and simple backgrounds, because your buttons should be the most obvious thing in the email. Blue background with like an orange button right here. This is how we get these to pop and make them stand out. These are the best practices that we want with every email. So make sure as you're designing emails or as you're reviewing emails that are designed, you're going through this checklist. And so how do we design emails? We like to design emails inside of Figma. It's the best platform for email design. It has way more capabilities, organization, and scalability compared to platforms like Canva. You will likely need to hire a professional to help put these designs together unless you have a design background. But if you want to see me actually design emails in real time, these are 2 videos on my YouTube channel which goes over the whole process. I want to keep this video as short as possible, but there's a video on watching me writing and design emails for Mr. Beast, and then also for Gymshark right here, designing 3 emails. These are insights and stuff that you won't find elsewhere, and I talk about the whole process from writing the copy to designing the emails. So I recommend you check those out if you want to learn more about design. And then also utilizing our text-based emails. We need to be utilizing these. They feel personal, they look like they're coming from a friend, they're dead simple and have no distractions, buttons are clear and easy to see, and they stand out and cut through the noise. We talked about this earlier, but I wanted to have another reminder because these just work like crazy. These can be built right inside your email sending provider with no design needed. You know what? If you suck at email design and you just want to send these text-based emails, you're more than welcome to. Just be careful that your engagement will decrease over time as people aren't getting visually appealed by these emails at all. But we want to make sure we're sending at least 2 to 3 of these every single month. And one thing also to make sure that we are clear on, again, is good artist copy, great artist steal. Steve Jobs and Pablo Picasso said it, so you can do it as well. You don't need to be reinventing the wheel. Stick with what is proven to work from these brands who invest a lot in their email marketing. They probably know what they're doing. So here are some good brands to steal from: Monkpack, Kizik, Duck Camp, Magic Mind, Magic Spoon, Olipop, Dr. Squatch, Seed, and Breeze. These are going to give you a good starting place for getting inspiration on email design. Again, we have Milled, which I went over earlier. We also have Really Good Emails, which is a website right here, which shows you a ton of really good emails. And so you can steal different templates. Then also Email Donut, which again is a ton of email designs, and you can switch by email type. But these are great for stealing layouts and finding emails and styles that you like. So that is the full crash course on the 2025 and 2026 email marketing campaign strategy of what is working today, how frequent you should be sending, what sorts of emails you should be sending, how you should write them, and what the design is supposed to be like. That's it for this one. And if you want more help, you are an e-commerce brand doing at least 50K a month, then book a call with us and we'll completely run your email channel. But for everybody else, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you check out this next video on my channel. Make sure you subscribe for more email marketing value, and I'll see you in the next one.